If you have to ask why it's important to start your day early, here's your answer.
Grab the 2 for $5 mix and match breakfast deal at McDonald's. Choose 2 of your faves and take home a delicious pair just for you.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Trust meteorologist Mikkel Hannah Harding for your first alert. You can find ice-cold refreshment right here at Parker's Kitchen. Cool off with a large fountain drink for just 89 cents. That's a huge sweet tea for less than $1 at Parker's Kitchen. Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 live at 5.
A deputy hospitalized after being shot is improving this evening. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office says Deputy Gavin White is walking and talking fine while maintaining a positive attitude. Good evening and thanks for joining us here live at 5. I'm Will Rio. On the other hand, funeral arrangements have been announced for the other deputy involved in this shooting, Brandon Sykes. That funeral will be on Monday at noon at the Columbia County Performing Arts Center. It comes as we learn more about his service to our community. According to state training records, Sykes has been a Columbia County deputy since 2018. Sheriff Clay Whittle says Sykes worked on the crime suppression unit and leaves behind a wife, Amber, who also works for the sheriff's office. Sykes' obituary says before his law enforcement career, he served as a U.S. Army combat medic. And a memorial growing on the side of I-20 where Deputies Gavin White and Brandon Sykes were both shot. Another memorial is outside of the sheriff's office now. Your Audrey Dickerber is live for us on I-20. Audrey, you spoke with a woman who created this memorial. How is she remembering Deputy Sykes this evening?
Even though she doesn't know the deputies personally, she does have a special connection to the Columbia County Sheriff's Office and wanted to show them support. And the memorial is actually continuing to grow. Let me actually get out of the way to show you guys. There's been some more flowers that have been added alongside the highway to show respect for Deputy Sykes, and they expect more to be added by the end of the week. But more people have been stopping by to place something at the memorial, whether that's flowers, a cross, a sign, or a note, and people are coming together to show their love and support for Deputy Sykes, Deputy White, and the Sheriff's Office as a whole. But this isn't the only way that people are being honored, or people are honoring them. They're also putting signs in their yard, and one man is even passing out signs that say, "United We Stand," with the police flag on them for free. And both of them say they want to make sure the deputies' loved ones in the Sheriff's Office feel supported, and that it's even more important to come together now.
I can't imagine how all the brothers and sisters in blue feel. You know, it's unexpected, horrific, honestly. And if we can just show them that we love them and that we back them and support them, maybe that will help make their days just a little bit easier, a little less heavy in the upcoming weeks.
And coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we'll tell you how you can actually get one of these signs yourself for free.
And we've seen that memorial right there behind you, Audrey, at least double in size since this tragic accident happened on Saturday evening. Thank you for that update there. Happening now until 6 p.m., Shepherd Community Blood Center is hosting a blood drive to benefit Deputy Gavin White, who was injured in that shooting. Shepherd Blood Center says White received blood from our local donors here. Now the community is being asked to help replenish that supply. One donor says he donates often and says this is a great cause.
I think most of the people in the community would get behind something like that, and you know, giving blood is the right thing to do. It helps just because there's a lot of people in need, and so if you're capable of doing it, I think it's just a good thing to do for the community.
And the center says you can donate at any of its locations today and tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. For each donation, Deputy White's family will receive $20 to help with his treatment and his recovery. And River Ridge Elementary School is showing their support for the Columbia County Sheriff's Office. The school is having students and staff wear blue on Friday. Switching gears to weather now as we check in with your First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Riley Hale. Riley, we've got some warm temperatures, sunny skies this week, but a little bit of rain on the way later this week.
That's right. Well, we are looking at nice warm days ahead, but there is going to be that chance for some thunderstorm activity to move in a little bit later into the week. We have shifted things a little bit. If you were watching us yesterday, we were thinking maybe the better chance was Friday. Well, it looks like that cold front is going to be a little bit slower moving for us. So continuing the better storm chances now into Saturday rather rather than Friday. So if you have outdoor plans during the day Friday, right now it looks mostly dry. I would say we have a slightly better chance to see those thunderstorms arrive by the time we get to our Saturday. Here's a look at it so you can see how the rain spread out. Maybe a stray storm possible Friday ahead of that main front. The main front will eventually push through late Saturday, so that's what will give us our best chance. The rain you're seeing on the map here for Sunday, that's mainly before the sun comes up Sunday. So during the day Sunday should be mostly dry for us. And we have plenty of dry weather out there currently. Live look outside of our studios, plenty of blue sky out there, and temperatures are warm again, 82 degrees. Now we do have a little bit of cloud cover. We've had some cloud cover throughout the day, but now that's really starting to break up. You can see a little bit more sun now outside of our studios. Temperature is going to stay in the 80s at least through sunset, but then we'll gradually fall through the 70s and 60s getting closer to midnight. Clear skies as we head past sunset. Let you know how you could see the Starlink satellites coming up.
Thanks, Riley. A student in Columbia County is being held accountable after making threatening comments against another student. The district says it happened at Riverside Middle School after the student got into a physical altercation with another student. They say the comment was made in front of several other students. In Richmond County, a student at Bel Air Middle School was found with a gun. The district says it happened on Friday when administrators were told about a student with a possible weapon. They say the gun was taken from the student and police remained vigilant for the rest of the day. Well, polls are open from now until 7 tonight for the general and special elections in North Augusta. Those on the ballot include City Council candidates Dennis Briatico, Pat C. Carpenter, and Robert Freitas, and Jennifer McCauley. Also on the ballot is Mayor Britton Williams, who is running unopposed. A man has been arrested after a SWAT incident involving a barricaded person on Clark Street. This is the third time in less than 2 weeks SWAT has dealt with a barricaded person. Richmond County deputies say 58-year-old James Jackson was wanted for federal probation violations related to weapons and narcotics possession charges. According to the sheriff's office, tear gas was deployed inside the home and Jackson was safely taken into custody. The controversial Atlanta Public Safety Training Center officially opens today. Police officers, firefighters, and other first responders will use this facility, but officials say the center replaces outdated facilities. Opponents of the center say its construction destroyed much-needed green space. They also say it should have been on the ballot to vote on, and that's why it's unwanted by some community members. The site is also where Manuel Tehran was shot and killed more than 2 years ago during a protest. Investigators say Tehran shot a Georgia state trooper in the leg. Troopers returned fire, killing the 26-year-old. Tehran's parents have filed a lawsuit seeking damages and demanding a jury trial. An attorney for a woman accused of starting a massive wildfire in the Carolina forest says they want a jury trial. They were supposed to have a hearing this morning, but it was canceled as they requested a jury trial. She allegedly started a fire last month to burn debris in a backyard fire pit. The South Carolina Forestry Commission says she did not have a water source available to control that fire. She faces up to 60 days in prison and a $400 fine if convicted. Well, data shows South Carolina is spending more money than most other states to boost people's health, but it's not paying off. South Carolinians are among the unhealthiest Americans, but leaders believe a major change the governor just signed into law will help. Our State House reporter Mary Green has the details.
On Monday, Governor Henry McMaster signed one of his key priorities for this year into law, legislation to merge 3 separate state agencies into one.
They're serving overlapping populations. And so first of all, people who need those services don't know which agency to go to, so there's a lot of confusion. Second of all, there's a lot more FTEs than we actually need to deliver those services. So this particular reform is going to bring more efficiency, save money, provide better services, and also it's going to have more accountability.
The law will combine 3 state agencies, the existing departments of mental health, disabilities and special needs, and alcohol and other drug abuse services, and merge them into a new department of behavioral health and developmental disabilities. The leaders of 2 of those existing agencies are accountable to unelected boards, but supporters believe merging the departments into a new cabinet agency accountable to and able to be fired by the governor will make them more responsive to South Carolinians' needs.
This is an enormous historic step forward, a great step forward for the people of our state to make things better and better.
This new law is effective immediately with the governor's signature Monday. Senator Tom Davis says work will begin with that to merge those 3 agencies, but that it will likely take some months to complete. Reporting from the State House, I'm Mary Green.
An outside study done a few years ago found South Carolina's healthcare delivery system is the most fractured of any state in the nation. Where some states might have one or two agencies with certain responsibilities, South Carolina has several, which was a key finding that led to this restructuring. As a reminder, lane closures continue the rest of the week at the diverging Diamond interchange. This is a part of the road widening project for Lewiston Road. Lane closures go from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. every day until Friday. As a reminder, there's also closures on the intersection of John Deere Parkway and Horizon South Parkway. This will be from 9 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. every day until Friday. Also, as a reminder, your taxes are due by Thursday. The deadline to file them was extended due to Hurricane Helene. This includes individual and business tax returns. The IRS says if you qualify for the tax relief and receive a late filing or payment penalty notice, to call the IRS on the form that you've received. And today is National Fentanyl Awareness Day, how organizations are connecting resources to those struggling with addiction. Riley?
Well, we're going to keep things nice and dry and a little bit warmer heading into our Wednesday. We are still tracking the chance for storms by this weekend. More on that just after the break.
Time and Temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
This is not a nugget.
Welcome in, folks. A live look over our Beach Island camera. This is actually zoomed in over downtown Augusta, and we're only able to do this with a good view whenever it's very calm. We don't have a ton of wind out there right now, so not really shaking our camera all too much. Less than 10 miles an hour out of the south. We've had a good bit of cloud cover most of this afternoon, but it really just broke up. Our temperature is right now 82 degrees. That could definitely go up a degree or two as we head into later tonight. Now, here's a look at our Starlink pass tonight. So we have a couple of different opportunities. There's going to be one at 8:42 and then another one at 9:04 p.m. All you have to do is look towards the northwestern sky. They're going to be traveling towards the southeast sky. Maybe tough for you to see, but it'll look like a string of white lights. And this is actually really cool to see in the night sky. So if you want to see this, you have a couple of different opportunities, 8:42, 9:04 p.m. And it should be visible to most of us, especially if you're away from those city lights. That's going to give you your best opportunity to see those Starlink satellites later this evening. Now, moving forward to the forecast tomorrow, it's going to be another nice day. Waking up with mild temps around sunrise, partly cloudy into the afternoon. Warm day with those high temps likely hitting the 80s. Not really going to change things all too much on Thursday. Going to keep things mild early into the day, warm in the afternoon, generally just partly cloudy. But as we head throughout the day tomorrow, we're just going to gradually see a little bit of cloud cover build by the afternoon, but nice day nonetheless. Nothing really to worry about out there on Wednesday. Now, looking over the next 5 days, you can see we are looking at better rain chances to arrive as we get Friday, Saturday, and most likely seeing those rain chances come to an end by early Sunday morning. So right now it looks like the timing of this rainfall does show up late Friday, continues to bring us additional waves throughout the day Saturday, and then most of our Sunday, as long as the sun's out, should be mostly dry out there. Here's a quick look at our European model. So this is showing maybe a stray storm chance Friday, but as this front does get closer by Saturday, that's going to bring us our best opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms. Right now the severe weather threat is low, not zero, something we're going to have to keep a close eye on. So just make sure you're staying weather aware as we head into the weekend and stay updated on this forecast the next few days.
Sounds good. Thanks, Riley. If you live in Edgefield County, you're being told to reduce your water usage tomorrow and Thursday. This is for upgrades on the water treatment plant Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Officials say they don't expect to lose water service and say you shouldn't do things like laundry, fill your pools, or wash your cars. Tomorrow, Augusta Housing and Community Development will have a public meeting on the Weed School. About a month ago, we told you plans were underway for an affordable senior living apartment complex at the historic school in the Sand Hills neighborhood. The Housing and Community Development bought the former school for black children earlier this year. They want commissioners to approve a loan to construct the complex. Some other ideas for the space include a grocery store, library, shopping plaza, and health center. This will be at 6 p.m. on Mount Auburn Street. Well, today is National Fentanyl Awareness Day, and one local group is helping to provide recovery resources. The Serenity Behavioral Health Systems provided Narcan with demonstration stories, free HIV testing, and much more. Now, officials say fentanyl overdoses have been on the rise in Richmond County in the last year, mostly among young adults. They say they're working to expand to more rural counties like McDuffie, Lincoln, Warren, Talifer, and Wilkes to help more people.
connecting with their health departments, their hospitals, their law enforcement, and we're bringing resources like naloxone, hygiene kits for people who are experiencing homelessness, wound care kits for folks who are using drugs to help keep their wounds clean, and also community-based overdose education.
And earlier this month, we told you South Carolina saw a decrease in overdose deaths in 2023. That's the first time in more than a decade. Tomorrow, the Richmond County Schools system is hosting a walk-in Wednesday. You can learn more about different positions available, including teachers, coaches, dispatchers, and more. This will be from 9 a.m. until noon at the National Hills Learning Center on Northwood Road in Augusta. Parents with children in Richmond County, you have just a few days to register your child for some summer camps. For the STEAM camp for grades 3 through 5, you have until Thursday. For the Gifted Summer Enrichment for 1st through 5th grade, you have until Friday to register. Other camps include the Fine Arts Camp and Cyber Academy of Excellence. To register, you can go to the Richmond County School District's website. And a heartbreaking tragedy turns into a happy surprise weeks after a Georgia Army veteran loses her dog in an accident. We're back after a short break.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Well, it's a beautiful afternoon up at the lake. Taking a look over our Thurman Dam cam, you can see that there is plenty of sunshine up there and not much wind. A very calm outlook over the lake this afternoon. Temperatures are in the 80s. It's going to stay nice and comfortable if you're heading out this evening. By the time we get to tomorrow morning, we'll eventually drop down to the 50s. So it will be a nice start to our Wednesday morning. Later into tomorrow afternoon, we're expecting highs back at least into the mid 80s, possibly upper 80s in a spot or two. You can see rain chances remain low across the area. Our model here just favoring a little bit of cloud cover out there throughout the day. Once we get into Thursday, very similar, waking up in the 50s, afternoon highs mid upper 80s with some cloud cover through the afternoon hours, but still very little rain in our forecast over the next couple of days, and it even looks mostly dry on Friday. This is Friday morning, temps waking up a little bit warmer in the 60s, afternoon highs climbing back into the mid 80s, maybe a stray shower or thunderstorm late into the day, but it looks more likely we'll see that rain arrive as we head late into our Friday night, most likely even into Saturday. So if you are having those weekend outdoor plans, just keep an eye on that Saturday forecast. A few storms will be possible, but looking mostly dry by Sunday.
Thanks, Riley. More than a month after an Army veteran service dog was hit and killed by a car, her story has taken a turn for the better. Top Dog K9 in Lilburn surprised the veteran with some good news. Adam Murphy has more.
Carrie.
You doing okay?
Yes.
How have you been?
Good.
This is a sad story with a happy ending. Army veteran Carrie Porter lost her beloved service dog Bruno last month after he was struck and killed by a car. The incident led Top Dog Canine Foundation in Lilburn to make a public plea for support in order to fund the training of a replacement service dog for Carrie.
When she lost her dog, it affected me because I was so worried that I could lose my veteran, my friend, and because it put her in her darkest moments.
Incredibly, Monlick Injury Attorneys donated $15,000 to train a new service canine for Carrie and then surprise her with the dog.
It is overwhelming to think that so many people could care about my progress and my ability to function as a civilian.
Carrie's new service dog Hayden is the brother of Bruno, sharing a similar lineage of exceptional service dog potential.
She's here and she's going to stay here because of the work we're doing, and she now has another service dog, and I think she's going to persevere and do so well.
The fact that he can go everywhere with me is a big deal. Bruno went with me to 3 different VA facilities, and if you've ever been to the VA, it is not a walk in the park.
And a good-looking pup there. Carrie's new service dog, Hayden, will be a great addition to her family and children as well. She has a 19-month-old daughter, Emma, and another one on the way. In Augusta, in honor of Limb Loss Awareness Month, the VA Augusta healthcare system is hosting events for veterans. According to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, the VA serves more than 45,000 veterans with major limb loss. 60% of those have been diagnosed with diabetes. Today, veterans did some rock climbing out there. One veteran we spoke with says it's important for amputees to get out and try different activities.
To me, if you're scared, that means you're not trying to get better or be better. You just want to sit back and complain. To me, my goal is to tell amputees to get out and try it at least. At least you try. If you try it and you don't like it, then you say, well, I did try it, but I just don't like it.
Some great advice there. For more information on how the VA helps veterans, you can head to our website, wrdw.com. We're back after a short break.
We've helped injured. Welcome back, folks. This is a beautiful afternoon to get outside, maybe take a walk on the Greenway Trail, and we are looking over the Savannah River, Greenway Trail, and the 13th Street Bridge. Temperatures are in the low 80s. We'll stay in the 80s and 70s if you have plans to be out for the rest of this evening, but by early tomorrow morning, we'll most likely wake up into the 50s. Got a pretty decent 7-day forecast ahead. We are going to start to warm things up a little bit over the next few days, so talking highs into the upper 80s through Friday. We'll see a slightly better chance for a stray shower or thunderstorm Saturday, but looking dry by Sunday.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. More news and weather coming up after a short break as News 12 Live at 5 continues.
Introducing the First Alert Radar Network.
With up to 10 times the resolution of other local radars and technology that can pinpoint right down to your street.
First just got faster.
Right now at Brooms.
At Parker's Kitchen, we go big. Our catfish sandwich. It's huge, bigger than the bun, with an extra large serving of Parker's signature sauce at Parker's Kitchen.
You're watching News 12 Live at 5. Continues.
A deputy hospitalized after being shot is improving this evening. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office says Deputy Gavin White is walking and talking fine while maintaining a positive attitude. Good evening and thanks for joining us here live at 5. I'm Will Rio. Funeral arrangements have been announced for the other deputy involved in the shooting, Brandon Sykes. The funeral will be on Monday at noon at the Columbia County Performing Arts Center. It comes as we learn more about his service to our community. According to training records, Sykes has been a Columbia County deputy since 2018. Sheriff Clay Whittle says Sykes worked on the crime suppression unit and leaves behind a wife, Amber, who also works for the sheriff's office. Sykes' obituary says before his law enforcement career, he served as a U.S. Army combat medic. Happening now until 6 p.m., Shepherd Community Blood Center is hosting a blood drive to benefit Deputy Gavin White, who was injured in that shooting. Shepherd Blood Center says that White received blood from local donors here. Now the community is being asked to help replenish that supply. One donor says he has a personal connection with Deputy White and wanted to give back to the cause.
My grandchildren go to prep and they know Deputy White. They knew him, yeah. He was their support officer on the campus. And yeah, it's devastating, especially to the young kids that knew him. So it's hard.
The center says you can donate at any of its locations today and tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. For each donation, Deputy White's family will receive $20 to help with his treatment and recovery. And River Ridge Elementary School is showing their support for the Columbia County Sheriff's Office. The school is having students and staff wear blue on Friday. To weather now as we check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley
this weekend in just a bit.
Thanks, Riley. We have a safety alert to tell you about. The South Carolina Department of Motor Vehicles is warning you about text messages involving tolls. They say text messages will ask you about an overdue toll violation and threaten your suspension unless payment is made. The DMV says it does not collect toll fees or send messages demanding payment. If you receive a message, you should delete it. A student in Columbia County is being held accountable after making threatening comments against another student. The district says it happened at Riverside Middle School after the student got into a physical altercation with another student. They say the comment was made in front of several other students. In Richmond County, a student at Bel Air Middle School was found with a gun. The district says it happened on Friday when administrators were told about a student with a possible weapon. They say the gun was taken from the student and police remain vigilant the rest of the day there on campus. Polls are open from now until 7 tonight for the general and special elections in North Augusta. Those on the ballot include City Council candidates Dennis Briatico, Pat C. Carpenter, Robert Fritas, and Jennifer McCauley. Also on that ballot is Mayor Britton Williams, who is running unopposed. Well, a man has been arrested after a SWAT incident involving a barricaded person on Clark Street. This is the third time in less than 2 weeks SWAT has dealt with a barricaded person. Richmond County deputies say 58-year-old James Jackson was wanted for federal probation violations related to weapons and narcotics possession charges. According to the sheriff's office, tear gas was deployed inside that home, and Jackson was safely taken into custody. Augusta commissioners talking about making improvements on Broad Street with parking under the Downtown Transportation Investment Act. Officials say there are 760 spots on the street and say most, if not all, parking stalls are substandard. As a part of the multi-phase construction project, plans include improving parking there and overall updating the area. But Commissioner Jordan Johnson says businesses are raising concerns about parking in the downtown area as construction happens. They expect to start phase 4 of the construction project near the James Brown statue within the next month. President Donald Trump's The controversial Atlanta Public Safety Training Center officially opens today. Police officers, firefighters, and other first responders will use that facility. Officials say the center replaces outdated facilities. Opponents of the center say its construction destroyed much-needed green space. They also say it should have been on the ballot to vote on, and that's why it's unwanted by some community members. The site is also where Manuel Tehran was shot and killed more than 2 years ago during a protest. Investigators say Tehran shot a Georgia State trooper in the leg. Troopers returned fire, killing the 26-year-old. Tehran's parents have filed a lawsuit seeking damages and demanding a jury trial. Well, lane closures continue the rest of the week at the Diverging Diamond interchange. This is a part of a road widening project for Lewiston Road. The lane closures go from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. every day until Friday. Also, as a reminder, there are also closures on the intersection of John Deere Parkway and Horizon South Parkway. This will be from 9 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. every day until Friday. And also, as a reminder, your taxes are due by Thursday. The deadline to file them was extended due to Hurricane Helene. This includes individual and business tax returns. The IRS says if you qualify for the tax relief and receive a late filing or payment penalty notice, you can call the IRS on the form that you received. And today is National Fentanyl Awareness Day, how organizations are connecting resources to those struggling with addiction. Riley?
Well, we are looking to stay dry the next couple of days, but rain chances will be going up as we head into our Friday and most likely Saturday for us now. Have a look at that just after the break.
Time and Temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
Join us right here on WRDW News 12 at 11 a.m. for Warren A Way of Life. Visit us anytime online at warren.church for more information.
You are seeing weather where, luckily, a little bit cooler and nicer heading into Sunday.
All right, thanks, Riley. If you live in Edgefield County, you're being told to reduce your water usage tomorrow and Thursday. This is for updates and upgrades on the water treatment plant Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Officials say they don't expect to lose water service and say you shouldn't do things like laundry, fill your pools, or wash your cars. Tomorrow, Augusta Housing and Community Development will have a public meeting on the Weed School. About a month ago, we told you about the plans were underway for an affordable senior living apartment complex at the historic school in the Sand Hills neighborhood. The Housing and Community Development bought the former school for black children earlier this year. They want commissioners to approve a loan to construct the complex. Some other ideas for the space include a grocery store, library, shopping plaza, and a health center. This will be at 6 p.m. on Mount Auburn Street. Tomorrow, the Richmond County School System is hosting a walk-in Wednesday. You can learn about different positions available, including teachers, coaches, dispatchers, and much more. This will be from 9 a.m. until noon at the National Hills Learning Center on Northwood Road in Augusta. Well, today is National Fentanyl Awareness Day, and one local group is helping providing resources, recovery resources for people in our area. The Serenity Behavioral Health Systems provided Narcan with demonstrations, stories, free HIV testing, and much more. Officials say fentanyl overdoses have been on the rise in Richmond County in the last year, mostly among young adults. They say they're working to expand to more rural counties like McDuffie, Lincoln, Warren, Taliaferro, and Wilkes to help more people.
Always carry naloxone. It's available over the counter, but if you like some for free, you can contact us. We can get you connected to any naloxone needs that you have. Same with Georgia Overdose Project. Never use alone, so let somebody know what you're doing and if you're going to be using. And just remember to test your drugs and stay safe.
And earlier this month, we told you South Carolina saw a decrease in overdose deaths in 2023. That's the first time in more than a decade. In Augusta, in honor of Limb Loss Awareness Month, the VA Augusta Healthcare Systems is hosting events for veterans. According to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, the VA serves more than 45,000 veterans with major limb loss. 60% of those have a diagnosis of diabetes. Today, veterans did some rock climbing out there. A medical amputee provider says it helps veterans gain confidence.
You stay active. There's so many different things out here, technology that allows the vet to continue to be active and live normal lives and continue to get out and exercise and be a part of events that allow them to showcase that, hey, I'm adapting to this lifestyle, and it can boost this mental capacity and spirits of other veterans that are going through the same thing.
For more information on how the VA helps veterans, you can head to our website, wrdw.com. Tomorrow, you'll be able to get free resources provided by the Department of Public Health and Project Refresh. They include free showers, food, and health screenings. This will be at May Park on 4th Street from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. The Augusta Transit will pick up people from different locations, including Gap Ministries, Master's Table Soup Kitchen, and the Salvation Army Center of Hope, starting at 8:30 a.m.
Oh, you may have seen this show up in your Facebook feed in the last few days. It is a post asking for help to find a missing police officer, Carolyn Lynch. It's been shared thousands of times. I'm Jamie Tucker. Coming up, why this post is not what it seems.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
For more than 40 years, our family has been confidently serving the CSRA. Our friendly and knowledgeable team at A&D is here to help you from design to install. Don't leave your project in the hands of subcontractors. Our in-house certified flooring installers are the most trusted in the business. We offer free in-home consultations and financing options up to 48 months interest-free to help bring your vision to life. A&D Carpets and Hardwoods. Come see us today.
Fish delish, fish delish. Giant whitefish, it's kicking. A new taste you're craving. And pops and a side, just $6.99.
Amazing.
Captain D's fish delish.
When you get approached from some... Thanks, Riley. Social media is a powerful tool for spreading important information quickly. Scammers know that too, and they're using emotional posts to trick people. Our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker explains how sharing them could put your account in jeopardy.
This post certainly looks legit and urgent, asking people to share it on Facebook to help find this missing police officer, Carolyn Lynch. At the end of the post, it says, it only takes 2 seconds to share this, and it tugs at our emotions. And that's exactly the point. Posts like this are called engagement bait, designed to get you to like, comment, and share without thinking twice. This particular post has multiple variations, placing Officer Lynch in departments across the country: North Carolina, Florida, Alabama, Texas, Ohio. Otherwise, each post is identical and being shared over and over again. There are a few telltale signs it's fake. First, a quick Google search reveals no missing police officer by that name, and all of the posts come from newly created Facebook profiles, like this one from someone named Sandra. A Google Lens search even shows the profile picture comes from a free stock photo library. Another red flag: almost all of these posts are closed for comments because the scammer doesn't want people calling out the hoax. So you may ask, what's the scam? It's not asking for money and doesn't include any links. So what is the scammer's end game here? One possibility, they're building a list of Facebook users who are easy to trick, targeting people who share these posts with more dangerous scams later. Once you engage, scammers swoop in with fake offers and phishing links. They're also sneaking in to buy and sell Facebook groups, easy targets because it's simple to join. So before sharing a post such as this that tugs at your emotions and seems urgent, do a quick Google search to make sure that it's legitimate. And if you manage a Facebook page for a group, be very selective on who you allow to join. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
And the police officer shown in that fake post is an officer from California Police Department. That department was quick to label the post as a scam and asked Facebook users to stop sharing that. Well, the golf postseason is here while Augusta men's golf awaits their tournament fate in tomorrow's selection show. One Jaguar is already packing their bags ready to depart to Norman, Oklahoma.
After winning the Southland Conference, one Augusta Jaguar golfer is headed to the NCAA Regionals. Sophomore Zoe Pinias punched her ticket after individually medaling at the Southland Conference Championship. She won the tournament by 2 shots, going wire to wire. This year is different. When she goes to the regionals, the rest of the team will not be competing alongside Zoe after finishing 4th. Zoe redshirted last season, an extra year contributing to her postseason success.
I think that gave me a lot for this year. Be prepared, know how it works, and I feel I already have a lot of experience, and it helped me a lot. I'm still having the same focus. Practicing the same amount. I feel less we can overthink. It's better. And if I continue with my plan, I know I'm doing good now, so I will just keep doing it.
Regionals are in Oklahoma. Pinios will leave this weekend. She knows the course will have some longer shots than what she's used to here in Augusta. The individual winner, not on a qualifying team, will advance to the NCAA championships.
Well, if you are lucky enough to have a tee time tomorrow, we got decent weather for it. Temperatures will be working their way into the 80s by the afternoon, and then we'll have to look at that 70 for you just after a short break.
Your journey starts with vehicle at Gerald Jones Auto Group.
Welcome back in. We are looking at our Wheeler Road camera, actually looking down at I-20 westbound lanes between the Wheeler Road exit and the Bel Air exit. So this is westbound traffic that we're looking at, just getting a little bit congested right here in this interchange, what we usually see this time of day. So heads up if you are planning to travel that direction next hour or so, may just run into a little bit of traffic. Nice day nonetheless, sunshine. High temperatures today did eventually top out at 83 degrees. Right now we're at 81 and just a very light east-southeast wind, generally less than 10. So, hey, it's a great afternoon or evening to head out for a dog walk. If you are heading that direction, we got temperatures in the 80s through at least around 7:30, and then as we get later into this evening, we'll just gradually fall through the 70s, getting closer to midnight. So good weather out there to be outside. We are going to continue our warm streak for the rest of the week. High temps actually getting a little bit closer to 90 over the next few days. 87 for a high Wednesday, 88 Thursday, and then most likely a degree warmer by Friday as a cold front does start to work its way into the region. So maybe a stray shower thunderstorm Friday afternoon. Looks to be a low chance. I would say a better opportunity to see the rain by Saturday.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have more news, weather, and sports coming up after a short break on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Introducing the First Alert Radar Network.
With up to 10 times the resolution of other local radars and technology that can pinpoint right down to your street.
First just got faster.
When it matters most, George C. Gentry Lawyers delivers results.
I was rear-ended by a drunk driver. They got me $1.5 million. Go with the name you know and trust.
Get George St. Law Firm on the line. Call 999-9999.
Southland